welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I am Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, bud?
Man, I'm good now.
You get a little sweat in there before the podcast?
A little sweat in.
Yeah, got a little nervous. We're two computers in now into this podcast. We had some trouble last week, audio-wise. Still threw it up if you want to listen. Very difficult to listen to.
Good luck.
Got a couple texts saying not going to be able to listen to podcasts today, bud.
Yeah, I got one too.
Yep. So it just is what it is. But we're back. We're back. We've got the audio, we think, fixed.
Yep.
Video, of course, is always great because you get to see the two of us here in Rum Dum Studios. It's a great smile.
Thanks.
Adam, we got a big podcast today, bud. There's
a lot
to do. I mean, we've got the Reds. We got to talk about the Reds because they are. Ellie De La Cruz is literally the biggest thing in MLB right now. Like they were talking about him on MLB Network today.
Yep.
Let's see. We've got obviously last night, 2 nights ago, whenever it happened, the Denver Nuggets won the NBA Finals.
Congratulations, Denver Nuggets.
And what I'm not a big fan of the term a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah.
It's a sweep or it's not a sweep. The gentleman's sweep it's not a thing.
I agree with you.
You won 4-1. You didn't sweep anything.
I agree with you.
I don't like it. I don't like the gentleman's sweep.
Yeah. I don't know where it came from. I'd have to look that up.
I don't either. So we've got that. We can talk a little bit about that. Our buddy Joker Jokic. Nikola, is it time to get rid of the Jokic or the Joker moniker and just everybody needs to learn how to say Jokic? Kind of like Antetokounmpo.
So
it was the Greek. It was the Greek freak forever because nobody could say Antetokounmpo, and now it just rolls off of everybody's tongue, right? Because you had to learn how to say it because he was that guy. He was him.
He was, yeah. Capital H, right?
Capital H.
Yeah. I don't know why it would be hard for anybody to say Jokic, but yeah, learn his name. If you don't know his name, he's a 2-time MVP and now a Finals MVP and a champion. You got to know who he is.
So we'll talk about that. We've got some other things that we want to get into, but let's start this podcast off like we usually do. Somehow 427 episodes into this, there are still Reese's that we've never had. This is a bag item that Adam has brought with him today. Is this, oh my gosh, is that what I just think I saw? Is this animal crackers, Reese's animal crackers?
This is dipped animal crackers.
Wow.
Bite-sized animal crackers covered in peanut butter candy and dipped in milk chocolate.
When did you find these? Where did you find these?
These were at
this is brand new to me.
Yeah, me too. I think it was at Kroger.
Wow.
I think.
Good find, man. Yeah. I'll dip in and go for I'll dip in and grab try to grab a couple. All right, I got Trace. Okay, so we've got a peanut butter. So it's the animal cracker, peanut butter coating on the top, small bit of chocolate across the bottom. What do you think you have? I think I have.
I was just gonna say.
I think I have a hippo. Idea. I'm pretty sure I got a hippo.
No idea what that is. Either a bear or an elephant
or a horse
or a giraffe
or a cow.
Right.
Yeah, it could be a lot. I don't know if I'm holding
might be
this.
A lady. I don't know.
I may not be holding that right. It may go. I'm not. Yeah, we might have to spin these guys around. All right, the chocolate's melting in my hand. I'm going to move this over here. All right, so we need to try these things. The Reese's dipped animal crackers. All right, Adam is taking the first bite, and as always, we will go to his first impressions.
Excellent. Dipped in. I was thinking this was. I wasn't sure exactly what to expect, even after the description on the bag. Peanut butter candy in chocolate. It's really dipped in peanut butter and chocolate on either side, and it's just the animal cracker in there. I love
this is way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Way better than I thought it was going to be. I'm going 9.7. This is good stuff right here.
Yeah.
I'd eat these all day.
I'm going to go. Yeah. I'm going to go 9.7 too. I think that's a good score.
I love it. That's really good. Oh, good, man. That was a good find.
Dipped animal crackers. I've seen it twice now, but not everywhere. So, yeah. Yep. Keep an eye out for these things. And if you see them, pick them up. I'll put these as usual right here. So, whoops, almost spilled them.
All the other good stuff we got back here.
If you need one during the thing,
I will
do it.
So, Adam,
Yeah.
you had a little something go down. I don't know what it is. And then it happened twice. Something about at the store. I'm really excited to hear. It's kind of a walking story with Cracker Thug, but we'll let's just go from there. We'll call it Walking Stories with Cracker Thug.
I believe we may have talked about this scenario on the podcast before, but I am yeah, I'm sure we have. I was stopped. I was in the mall, stopped by one of the kiosk guys, right?
Yes. First off, is there a mall still?
Kenwood's the only good one.
Okay.
It's the only
Okay.
it's the only nice mall anymore. So anyway,
Okay. I
went to
didn't
the
know there was still a mall.
went to the Kenwood Mall. Saw probably my favorite teacher of all time and one of my favorite coaches of all time, Coach Witt.
Hey,
his,
Coach Witt.
Coach Whitmer with his family. So that was nice. But I'm walking around and I'm there looking for some birthday gifts. Shout out my niece Maria turned 8 this week, and my sister Jen turned another age. I don't know if she'll want me to say. She's not older.
24.
Very close. Add a decade. So
Now everybody knows.
she'll never listen to this. I'm walking through the mall. I'm there for a while, and I'm kind of like getting ready to go. I'm like, I can't find anything. I have no idea what to get anybody. And this guy catches I look over, I just glance over, I see a person. He goes, "Hey, my man, I'm wearing these shoes actually."
Perfect. Said, hey, you like them net shoes?
Yeah.
You know, when it gets wet outside, them things get your socks wet.
No, the opposite. He got my socks wet for me. So
what?
he's selling a shoe cleaning kit. Okay. And the kiosk in the middle of the mall.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's like, "Hey man, put your foot up here on this little stool." So I put my foot up there. Oh man. So he hands me, he's like, "I don't I work on commission only. This is the thing." First he says something like, "Let me just show you this. You don't have to buy anything. Show you this." He shows me what it is. It's a little kit with a brush and some foam thing or whatever.
Yep.
Like you can get anywhere really. And then he hands me the kit. I'm sure it's some kind of sales technique. He would put it in their hand, let them feel it. And so he's like, "All right, yeah. And he's telling me about this thing. He's like, I get commission. Can you help me out, brother? Put your foot up here." So he gets the brush out. He puts some stuff on it, and he's brushing the thing. I'm like, I've tried to do this 10 times with these shoes. Works a little, but not great. They're getting older. So he brushes these shoes off, and he's getting all up in here in the mesh and everything.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm just getting my sock wet. Didn't say that, of course.
I totally would have.
Yeah. So I'm just watching him do it, and as he's wiping it off, I'm like, that doesn't look anything.
Put it right next to the other shoe. Like, which one did you clean?
Yeah. Right. So he has me put the other one up there actually too, and he does that. And he's giving me a whole spiel. He's like, "These will make your shoes whiter than Michael Jackson and blacker than Wesley Snipes," and he's trying to do the whole.
Oh yeah.
Clever,
That's really good.
thing.
I like that.
So these are apparently whiter than Michael Jackson now, I guess.
Yeah, guess so. They still got a little tint of brown to them.
Yeah, like places, which is perfect.
There you go.
So, but anyway, he gets me. He sucks me in. I'm like,
did you buy it?
I know I don't. No.
Okay.
So I'm like, so how much is this? $30.
$30 for something that don't work. Sorry, bub.
For some shoe cleaner, man. No thanks.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I spent the time. I listened to his whole thing. I let him brush my shoe. He made me feel like I have to buy this to help him out.
That's my least favorite sales technique. If you start telling me how much you like that, this is the only way I get paid, and try to make me feel sorry for you, you've lost me. Now I'm done, bro. I'm done. Like I might have
It
bought
works
it.
on me.
I might have bought it if you wouldn't have done that. No, that ain't how it works. You ain't guilting me into nothing. That's not a sales technique.
So I got out of it, end up walking to the other end of the mall, and then I probably just to get away from it. I had no plan to go anywhere. Couple more stores. I end up walking back that way, and I think I was upstairs and came back down and had to pass him again.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna forget that he already.
Oh my
talked to
God!
me.
Please tell me he forgot.
He didn't forget.
Oh,
He didn't forget.
Yeah, you're
But-
the only one that got to clean their shoes that day.
Yeah.
Nobody else would even look at him in his
I'm
eyes.
the only guy, I'm sure. So he got me there yesterday. Okay. I talked to you very briefly before your practice.
Yeah.
And then I went into Kroger, picked up a prescription, and was walking out. All right. I have a basketball game in about an hour from there. Still have to go home and change, get to the gym, warm up, stretch. I'm an old guy. I have to do that. So I'm walking out. I'm almost to the entrance exit of the store.
Mhm.
And there's a guy that like flags me down, real tall guy.
Yeah.
Real tall guy.
Nice.
And he like says, "Hey buddy," and he's got a mask only over his mouth, and and he's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And at very first thing, I thought he worked for Kroger. I thought he was an employee there.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Does he have samples of something or whatever?
Yeah.
Kind of weird. This doesn't happen a lot in that Kroger. But so I get all the way up to him and I see Spectrum on his shirt.
Yes. I got a story about this. So you continue.
So he
Continue.
he goes, hey, I don't even know what he said, but I'm like, oh, well, actually, and I'm like, oh, yes, thank God.
It's the best, right?
'cause I just got
Spectrum.
I'm like about 5 or 6 months ago, I signed up for Spectrum Internet. And I did. It was the truth.
Yep.
And so I'm like, yes, I'm out of it.
Yep.
And so, yeah. So he's like, oh, okay, well, let me see, what's your zip code, and I can see what other offers, what other deals we can get you. And he's asking me like, oh, do you have the whole bundle, the phone, internet,
gotta have a
everything?
bundle. It's cheaper to get a phone number and get a landline.
Sure.
Somehow it becomes cheaper. My internet gets cheaper if I get a landline. I don't need a landline.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I can give you 80 channels if you get this phone number.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
So I'm like,
if it's not 513-922-4362, I don't want it.
That's right. That's the only phone number I'll take.
And if yours isn't 513-662-0484, I don't want you to have it.
It's the only two numbers I'll take.
Yes.
481-4049.
Oh, yeah, that's Uncle Bobby. Yep. 481-4049. 100%.
Oh, man, that's great.
Yep.
And it's safe to say that because none of those numbers exist anymore, right?
Yeah. Do you hear that we're getting a new area code in Cincinnati?
No.
Yeah, there's going to be a new, besides 513, there's going to be a new one. We're going to have a second area code here.
All right. I don't know where they're going to put it, but I refuse it.
Yep, me too. I'm a 513, dog.
That's right.
51 Trey.
So he goes into his whole thing and he's like, well, let me know what's your zip code so I can see what kind of deals we have in your area, which I've never understood.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I've talked to one of these places in the last few years, it's deals in your area. Why are the deals different?
I don't know. It does. I think they don't, the deals are the same everywhere.
I would think
they just want to get your zip code. Now they're dwindling down, getting closer and closer, more information out of you.
So as soon as I give him my zip code, okay, he gets his tablet, he puts in my zip code. Yeah, what's the street address? Why didn't you just ask me for my
address? Would have been way easier. Yeah.
I didn't want to give it to him, and now I'm looking around like
I'm locked in. Now you feel locked in. Yeah.
Yep. And so he gets my address. He gets my, let me show you something. Let me show you something here. Right in the middle of this podcast, I'm going to show you exactly. Let's see. Ready? Here we go. I got CJ from Spectrum.
Yes, he got your digits. Yes, he does. CJ, Christopher James. What's good?
So shout out to CJ. He's got my number. He had about 15 of my minutes. And I'm just standing there. I'm standing there listening, and he's like, showing me all these deals I can get. Yeah, but I can give you 60 channels. This is like the basic package, and this is only going to be $25. And but if you want the 80, the 80
You get that
channel
good one,
package,
you know.
is,
What
you know,
what do you watch?
yeah, yeah.
What do you watch? Do you watch MTV?
And
do
I
you
thought-
watch ESPN? Because I always tell them I'm a big cricket fan.
what kind of
That's the
what kind
big
of
package.
what
You
kind
gotta
of English
I'm
channels
gonna
do you
need
have?
that 15,000 package to get that one.
Yeah. So I thought I got out of it again because I'm like, actually, I looked through all this, when I was signing up for internet to
Yeah.
see if it made sense to go to get the cable too.
Yeah.
And I said, the only reason I didn't do that was because I wanted to get Bally Sports for the Reds games. And I don't think it was on through Spectrum. And I was pretty sure that was correct.
I think it is.
He's like, is it?
Yeah.
I feel like the last time I looked, it wasn't for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I didn't look at it right. But he's like, okay, well, yeah, well, we have this. Well, we can get you Bally. Yeah, we'll get you Bally Sports. He's like, matter of fact, there's a sports package. We can get you 30 sports channels
let's
for
go. You say sports? Did you say
yeah.
sports? Here's your 3 soccer channels, 5 NBA channels, 22 cricket channels, and 18 golf channels.
There's your cricket channels. So I thought I was out of it right away when I was like, already with Spectrum, pal.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought I was out of it with, well, you don't have Bally Sports, can't do it.
Don't want to do it.
And then I was wrong about that too, I guess.
Man.
So I'm stuck there. And then he's asking me, he gets all my information. I mean, he's got
your cell phone.
Yeah. And so, and every time he's asking me, I'm looking around, I'm like, is this guy for sure like a Spectrum guy? Like, I'm trying to figure out. They're set up a little tiny table right up against the fireworks display at the front entrance. I'm like, man, this is weird. He had a partner with him.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he started his little thing, the guy's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom or something. That guy takes off. He's gone. So they have all my information. They're stealing my identity right now as we speak. And I'm stuck there.
Did you have to give them your Kroger Plus number? Oh, they got it. They got your cell phone.
They got my cell phone, yeah, and my address.
Kroger Plus points now, bro.
And then I'm thinking the whole time too. I'm like, almost every single day. That's not an exaggeration. I either get an email or a snail mail from Spectrum about some deal.
Absolutely.
And now you're trying to do it to me in person. I should have led with that, and I should have been like, you know what, man, I've just looked into all this stuff. I get deals every single day from Spectrum.
I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah.
So when I love those guys, right? So they're my favorite people. I have the DirecTV app still on my phone. I have the Spectrum app still on my phone. I have Dish still on my phone.
Are you paying for all those?
No, they're just the app. So when somebody comes up and goes, hey, what are you using for TV these days? And he's got a DirecTV shirt. I'm like, check it out. Swoop, DirecTV, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And then I walk away.
He also asked, oh, well, do you have the My Spectrum app? And I'm like, oh man, do I? And so I'm like, I kind of thought maybe I did, but it's something I never used. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm looking through my phone. I swiped through all my screens twice. And finally I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. And so he's like, oh yeah, if you pull that up and I can put your account number in or something like that. And I'm like, now he's got my now he wants my account
you have
number.
I just gave you all my other information. Shouldn't your little tablet have my account
so
number?
I pull the app up and stuff, and I have to go to another app and get my password for it. And then I have to type all my information in there to sign in. And then I have to go to some special place or whatever. Well, okay, it should have your account number. And he's looking like, okay, yeah, your account number. And it's a real long code. So he's like, and it's tiny. And he's like, okay, 836. And there's like 15 more numbers. So I'm like, 836-252-641. So I read it to him. So he's got my account number now too. So I don't know, maybe he's stealing my identity through the Spectrum app.
Through the My Spectrum app.
So he keeps me there for a long time. And then he's he's got his cell phone out. He's like, well, I'm the account manager, so I would always be available to take care of any questions or problems you have, And he's like, so let me give you my number. He goes, let me give you my number. And he goes, So, okay, I'll send you a message. What's your number? I'm like,
Yeah. Now you're just getting my number.
you're asked. Yes,
Yeah.
you're getting my number. So anyway, I'm so gullible and I can't be rude enough to just walk away from the guy like everybody else does.
It's hard. It's hard to be. I'm not that guy either.
I know.
I
yeah.
just like to have a little plan of action going into
I
it.
know.
I'm not. You don't have to be rude. You can smile and go, "I'm good, man. I appreciate you, but I'm good."
And I have plenty of times, but there's just sometimes maybe if I'm just like not expecting it or something like that,
Oh,
and
catch
they
you off
catch me off
guard.
guard, I panic and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. But
20 minutes of your life you'll never get back.
it was way too long. Oh, so that's the thing. He's trying to send me this text. It takes him 4 times to send me a text from his phone.
Oh my
The whole
God.
time I'm like, first that he had the wrong number. I told him my number. He put the wrong number in. Second time was he couldn't get reception in the store. Third time, and now I'm like, is he doing something else on his phone with my number, with my account
Yeah.
number or something
Yeah.
now?
What
Like,
is going on right now?
so finally he gets the message sent and I'm like, oh, there it is. And I had already said like, look, I'm pretty good right now with what I have. And I'm just gonna, I gotta get going. Whatever I said.
I gotta go ball out.
Yeah. And,
I gotta go be him.
so then I go home, change, go to the gym, and guy I play with, a good friend of yours growing up.
Yeah.
He goes, my daughter just saw you in Kroger stuck with the Spectrum guy. I'm like, yeah, tell her thanks a lot for saving me.
Help me out. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes. So anyway, I got stopped within 3 or 4 days of each other.
Oh,
Within 3 days of each other by 2 people like that. And
that's rough, buddy. That's
Yeah.
rough. I feel for you on
I
that
didn't
one.
give the initial no, so now I'm sucked in. There's like a
Yep.
there's like a threshold that once you cross that threshold, I'm stuck.
Yep. Ugh, that's a tough one. I mean, we've talked about this before. I enjoy letting a guy do his spiel. I like it. And I'll ask questions too. I'm gonna throw some ones out there. Like, hold on now. You say you're the best. What makes you better than this guy? Why are you better than what this is? Tell me why. And I want to know what come on, sell me. Let's hear it. I'm not buying it. I tell people a lot of time. I had a guy try to sell me alarm system, and I sat in the front yard with him. I said, I just hooked all this up. I just set my whole house alarm up. I'm not switching. But if you want to do your spiel on me, bro, I'm here. I'll be happy. And he's like, well, I really think I can get you to switch. And I'm like, come on. And he sat, it was almost an hour. We sat on, I opened my truck bed because he wanted to come in my house. Wanted to come in my house and set this all up on a table. I said, I got a table right here. Pulled the truck bed, the bed of the truck down, tailgate down, and said, here we go. Now we got a table. Show me what you got, bub. I said, you're talking about selling home alarm system and you're trying to walk into my house. Come on, man. You know what it ended up being? You know what made his better than ours? It had an infrared light on it.
Oh, that's right. That's
That
right.
was it. I said, but if that's all it is, man, I'm good. I'm good. Appreciate you though. I appreciate you. I told him I wasn't gonna, but I love that. I like giving guys an opportunity to do if I got time. If I ain't got time, I will be not blunt or not mean, but it's always man, I appreciate it. I ain't not right now, man. Not right now.
Yeah.
But I always say that I appreciate it. I always tell them like, thank you. I don't know why I'm thanking them for irritating me, but I appreciate you being a pest inside this store.
Sure. You want to give them a little reprieve from probably rude people all day.
I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
But they took the job. It's not like they've never been in a store before. They know what you have to do to do that.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what happened to me over the weekend. And then yesterday, what was going on with you this weekend? I know you had baseball.
We had
this
baseball.
weekend.
We had a huge baseball tournament this weekend. Our organization had their tournament.
Beautiful.
Saturday was great. We went 2-0.
Jason Bateman Yeager.
JB Yeager. Yeah.
Jason
Bateman Yeager. That's exactly right. Plumbing Specialist Authority. I don't know. So we went 2-0. We beat a team that we haven't beat in 3 years. We've lost to them by 1 a couple times. Been good games, and we came out and beat them. We were up 10-5. going into the last inning. We gave them 4 runs in the last inning and darn near tried to lose it. So we go 2-0, and they're a good team. They're probably one of the best teams, and they're one of the 2 or 3 best teams that were in it. And so Sunday gets rained out. So the top 2 teams in pool play each other for a championship. There was 3 2-0 teams. There was one 2-0 team that's by far the best team that was in it. And they played 2 really difficult teams, and they won them both, and they got the 1 seed. The first tiebreaker is runs allowed. Okay. So we have the exact same runs allowed as a second place team. You can only get 8 runs count towards your runs scored for each game. Because they don't want you to run up score on somebody. So the next one is runs scored. We have the exact same runs scored as the other team. However, run differential becomes the third tiebreaker. There's no cap. So they played 2 of the worst teams in the whole thing. And we had to play one of the best teams in the whole thing. We went 2-0. We earned our 2-0. So we end up having to watch the championship game on Wednesday, right after our practice.
Because of a third.
Because of it.
tiebreaker.
So they decide they're going to play the championship game right after our practice. And we sat there and watched. I got to tell you, though, good buddy of ours, mine, that coaches the team. And I say this in jest. I'm a little disappointed because I think we earned the 2 seed. I think we should have been the 2 seed, but at the same time, I'm happy for them. I'm glad they got to do what they got to do. It was good for the kids, but they got beaten. They got run ruled in the 4th inning, which is a bummer. Yeah, it's a bummer.
You feel like you guys would have hung in there?
Maybe not. I can't guarantee that. Can't guarantee anything in that case, but you never know. Would have gave it our best. I can promise you that. We would have gave it our best. I don't know what would have happened.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was rough. But afterwards, they had all the food that was supposed to be at the cookout or at the tournament. Ton of food left, so they're grilling all night. So we had 3 of our organization teams, 2 organizations that are close by that happened to be in this thing, and they were there. So it ended up being a big giant party, and we were there way too late, and that's why we didn't do the podcast yesterday.
Nice. There you go. Very nice.
So there you go.
Well, that's unfortunate. But
Is.
I guess that's why you have tiebreakers.
Yep, it's exactly right.
Oh.
And pool play, you never know. You get a good pool draw and you get bad pool draws.
Yeah.
We got a bad one.
That stinks.
Even in our own organization's tournament, we got a bad draw. Kind of a bummer.
That's tough.
So
just crown yourself the mythical champs.
no, we don't need to be champs.
No.
The kids they were so happy they beat that team that we haven't beat.
Did they get a 3rd place ring or anything?
No,
like that, or?
no. 1st and 2nd get rings. No third place.
Second place gets a ring.
They do. 2nd place gets a ring too. Yeah, all these tournaments have 1st and 2nd place. Well, you get a 1st and 2nd place trophy in most tournaments, right? So this is just replaces the trophy, right? All the tournaments, basketball tournaments we played in as kids, if you were in the championship game, there was a trophy for 1st place and a trophy for 2nd place.
One trophy though, right? I mean, you got to make rings for every kid on every.
Every kid got a trophy. I got a fistful of trophies from basketball in there and from baseball.
I had
1st and 2nd place trophies.
some Cheviot shootout participant trophies, but
I don't have any
other than
participant trophies.
I don't remember getting any.
I don't think I would let any of my kids keep a participant trophy. I don't know how I feel. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's what it is. If you lose, I mean,
no, if you
making
play
it
in
to
the
the championship game is great,
yeah.
but I mean,
Look, don't get me wrong. Number one, winning the championship. That's what it's all about, right?
Sure.
But I mean, even in the NBA, you get a ring for winning the Eastern Conference. You get a ring for winning the National League pennant. You get a ring in the football for winning the AFC or NFC.
I disagree with those, but you're right.
Yeah, but you do. I mean, you don't hear about them that much, but you get one. So that's your 2nd place ring, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you didn't lose though. You
lost in the finals.
Yeah.
So that you came away with that.
But yeah, but you don't get the ring in the finals or the World Series. You get it after you won something.
You get it the next year. Takes a whole year to get
Well,
all that
yeah,
stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the
Anyway.
Bengals gave out replicas of the AFC Championship ring to all the season ticket holders this year.
Yeah, I think everybody's doing that now.
Yeah.
But in that case, I'm going to get sized for my National League Central, my 2023 National League Central Division champ,
Cincinnati Reds.
Cincinnati Reds ring.
I love it because they are 1 game back as of today. Game and a half or one game?
Game and a half.
Game and a half back as of today. Super excited about this. Ellie De La Cruz. So we talked about this a little bit last week. I was there for a game. I missed the Ellie De La Cruz game. You were there for the Ellie De La Cruz game. Abbott threw his first 2 starts were both shutouts. This team hustles. This team is young. This team plays hard, and they are becoming fun to watch, and they're winning games in bunches, which is super fun. I didn't know that I would watch a lot of Reds this year, and I'm starting to watch them. And Mr. Joey Votto is about to come back. And we all know when that youth, I don't know, we've seen it before, when the youth exuberance comes through, sometimes Mr. Votto gets a little fountain of youth put into him. You know what I mean? Like he'll get a little spurt going, and you see a little life that you haven't seen in a while from him.
I hope so. It usually takes him about a month to get going in a season, and he hasn't played pretty much at all. So but he's down for his second rehab stint now. And so yeah, I guess he's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So but now you have another decision to make, because you've got to move guys around again. Somebody's going to lose playing time if Joey Votto is going to play almost every day.
I assume Votto is going to just DH.
I would think, but he's really fond of playing first base, so he might lobby for that a little bit. But
you've got Stevenson as well now, who is doing a lot of DHing.
Right.
Not
playing a lot of first.
They're going to have to find a place for him if Votto becomes the DH. And who's been playing first? I don't even know who's been playing first.
Spencer Steer.
Maybe? And Spencer Steer's been playing well.
Great. Yeah. Another rookie that
he got rookie of the month. He got rookie of the month last month.
And Matt McClain got National League Player of the Week like 2 weeks ago. The second week he was in the majors. The second or third week he was in the big leagues. So very exciting. The whole world is talking about Ellie De La Cruz because he's immediately the fastest player in baseball.
Yeah.
And he's 6'5", and he can hit. And his first home run almost left the stadium. He can hit the ball a mile, and he can run the bases faster than anybody else.
He hit a double off the wall that I don't think ever got higher than 5 feet.
The first night he did that. Yeah.
I'm saying he hit a ball so hard. It may have still been going up when it got 5 feet in the air and hit off the wall.
Yes.
Like insane.
Yeah. That was the ball that was hit. That was the hardest hit ball of any Red.
This year. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, and then Andrew Abbott, you already mentioned him. He's been really good his first 2 starts. He's going against Houston tomorrow in Houston. That'll be a big test.
This is big. This is a big test.
That's right.
Hunter Green is he's back now. This is going to be huge. You're going to get to see some stuff. Lodolo, Green, Abbott. This could turn into something fun.
Yeah.
So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a little ahead of schedule for the Reds, maybe, right? If they end up and let's say around the All-Star break, they are leading the NL Central. Is there a move out there? Are they making a move to get an arm? Are they making a move? There's no way, right? Like they're not making a move right now.
I have a feeling they won't, because it seems like they're a stay put team most of the time.
Yeah.
But with the excitement, people are actually caring about it the last 2 weeks. That's the other thing too, is I'm a skeptical person. I'm a glass half empty guy. Unfortunately, hate that about myself, but I also feel like, and then people who are like that also like to say, yeah, but I'm a realist, and that's just a masked way to say that I'm
sure
negative about everything.
Yep.
But truly, we're talking about 2 weeks of good baseball, and it definitely coincides with bringing these really good prospects up. So could be legit. Also, we've seen a zillion times where a guy comes up, has a hot start, and then the league the league adjusts to him, and then he doesn't. These guys
De La
aren't going to
Cruz, De La
maintain.
Cruz has struck out a little bit here the last couple games, and
Sure,
it's gonna happen.
he'll strike.
Right?
He'll strike
He's
out for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. But that so like some people are. It's always funny to watch. Some people get so overwhelmed with the, oh my God, look how fun this team is. They're so good now, and it's like, okay, but don't like try to not get too high or too low,
Sure.
right? And the Reds a month ago were pretty low. It looked like they were going to have a bad season
Yeah.
before they brought
Terrible.
all these guys up. So awesome, like ride out the fun time now. Probably expect a regression to the mean a little bit at least. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't want to get too over the top about how great this team is now, because they still have a bullpen that's not awesome.
So it doesn't
They've
have to
pitched
be.
better,
It
but
doesn't have to be how great the team is, but you can be excited for how much better the
sure,
team is.
of course. And they won 5 straight, I think, and like 8 to 10 or something like that. And that's exciting. I mean, wins are what matter the most, and that's what's exciting.
Yeah.
The Reds are like, I was thinking about this today. They're like a league pass team, like in the NBA, a team like Sacramento 2 years ago, and
Sure.
and Memphis 3 or 4 years ago.
Mhm.
Like you start to see like these young players coming up, like, oh, they're going to be pretty good in a couple years,
Mhm.
and they're exciting now. And I think that's what the Reds are right now.
Yeah.
So it might not translate for the rest of the year into tons of wins, and they don't run away with the Central, but I mean, it could happen. That
Mhm.
could happen. But they might just be exciting because they have a bunch of young, good players, and then
That play hard.
That play hard. Yeah. How about Ellie De La Cruz beating out a chopper to first base?
That's insane.
Was that fun?
It's
I
insane.
mean, that was Billy Hamilton type stuff.
I hope, like, I remember Hanley Ramirez. When Hanley Ramirez came up, he was a tall shortstop, skinny, fast, great player. And he ended up being a big, slow first baseman 4 years into the league. You know what I mean?
I feel
and
like
he
it
just
happens a lot.
and he just wanted to hit bombs, and
He'll steal 40 bases his
Yep.
first year, and then 12 the rest of his career.
Yeah, and
because
they'll hit a ton of home. He starts hitting home runs, and it's like, okay, well, this is who I am. I'm going to beef up. I'm going to do everything I can, and then that's what happened to Hanley Ramirez, and I hated that. And I pray something like that doesn't happen with this Ellie De La Cruz. I pray that he stays this incredible athlete, and just Bo Jackson's the heck out of this Eric Davis.
I love that statement. I love that statement. Those are two of my favorite guys ever.
Exactly. And that's what he reminds you of, right?
Yeah.
He's got the athlete. He's got an above average arm. He's got an above average bat, and he's got above average speed.
Mhm.
Right. His fielding, we don't know all about, but he's at least a 3-tool player, at minimum. And, maybe his contact's not the best, but we know he's at least a 3-tool player in 3 really fun tools.
Yeah, that's right. He's stolen 4 or 5 bases. He's walked 4 or 5 times already in, his first 7 or 8 games. And so, yeah. And that's the thing, like his plate discipline might not be what you want it to be yet, but he's so dangerous that guys are going to pitch around him anyway.
Absolutely.
And he'll take some walks too, because he knows that's going to happen.
Yep.
So, very, very, very exciting though. Very exciting. I shouldn't have even mentioned that it's probably not going to last as exciting as this forever, because I just brought the whole thing down. But
I'm going to tell you right now, you started this whole thing by saying you were going to pre-order your replica 2023 Central Division Champs ring. The problem is you don't get a ring for that. The ring doesn't come until you win the NL pennant.
They don't get division championship rings?
No.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Who's the kid?
You don't get one for winning the AFC North.
You don't?
I don't think so. Like you get one
I
for
feel like
winning. I think you
everybody
get
gets
one
like
for
early
winning
now.
the AFC championship, but you don't get one for winning the AFC North. It's like saying, well, we won our pool in pool play. Well, you don't get a ring for that. You get a ring for coming in first or second, for getting to the championship game.
Well, I bet I can still order one if they win the division.
I guarantee you can. I guarantee you can. I got 15 websites over here. You can go do whatever you want.
That's
From
true. You probably have to
$8,
deal with that
from
all the time.
$8 to $50, you can get one of these bad boys and have anything you want on it. You can put Adam Schmidt, MVP of the NBA, and do everything you want on that thing, man. They're pretty slick.
All right, I'm gonna get a Denver Nuggets ring then.
Oh, 100%. That'll be an easy one.
Because we mentioned it early on, Denver Nuggets won the NBA championship in 5 games, and they it was really, even after that, because they lost game 2 at home to Miami.
Right.
And the way that Miami beat teams that were supposed to be better than them the entire playoffs, and their toughness and grittiness, and winning with players that are just playing really hard and smart and shooting the ball well, guys that are undrafted, and everybody knows the whole Miami Heat story if you're following basketball. And they're an easy team to root for that reason. They were an underdog going into this series. And even after that game 2, I think we talked about it, it still felt like Denver was just a better team.
They just were. And you can't, a lot of people are saying, man, Miami lost this final. Miami did not lose the finals. They did not lose this NBA finals. Denver Nuggets won the NBA finals.
I agree.
That Miami team put everything they had. Like somebody said on the radio the other day, it just looked like Denver wanted it more. I'm going to tell you right now,
Disagree.
there is zero chance that anyone on that Miami Heat team is going to tell you that anyone wanted it more than them.
Yeah.
And when you get to that pinnacle, there is no wanting it more, but there is running out of gas. And
Sure.
Jimmy Butler was gassed. Did you watch the final game, game 5?
I only got to see the 4th quarter.
Okay. So I watched almost all of it. And from the get-go, from the get-go, Jimmy Butler, they were talking about he needs to take it to the basket. He's got to get to the free throw line. He would penetrate and pull up, penetrate and pull up, penetrate and fade away. He was not going strong to the basket early. That tells me he's just trying to get a shot up. He got past his man, but then he wasn't fit. Like, he was tired. My man was tired. It's hard to do what he did.
And Aaron Gordon did a great job guarding him a lot of time.
Phenomenal. Did you see Aaron Gordon afterwards? Did you see the video? Old boy is in his game shorts.
Oh, walking through the
no
streets?
shirt, walking through the
Yeah.
streets of downtown Denver.
That's crazy.
Going nuts. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
That's a trustworthy. That's trusting people right there. But
He is so, I mean, he has put on so much muscle since he's gotten in the league too.
Yes.
That guy is put together.
Yes.
And it's helped him a lot, I'm sure, on defense. I mean,
Absolutely.
he's a big, strong guy, and he was very valuable on the defensive
He
end.
has embraced that. Everyone's talking about, I mean, it's easy to embrace the defensive side when you play for a really good team and you have a role. Like, nobody wants to play defense if you're getting beat by 30 every night, right? Like, you're not going to play defense. But when you're winning games and you now have this role on this team, it's easy to buy into that.
Yeah.
And he's bought into it. And he's a freak athlete.
He is. And he talked about he said, when you have Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., those guys are such good scorers.
Yeah.
He's like, the pressure's not on me to go score then, because they're so good at it. I can get lobs and dunks and tips and all that kind of stuff.
I'll get 15, 20 points off scraps.
Sure. But I can use all my energy on the defensive end and take care of that side for them, because they're taking care of us on the other side. So very cool. Saw a couple clips and stuff from the parade they had already. Michael Malone, they all, a bunch of them seemed like they were a little overserved maybe, but
100%.
that happens every time.
Yes.
every parade every team has. But it was funny. And as a matter of fact, he said, Aaron Gordon said, some guy said, well, has it really hit you? Which is a funny question. Has it really hit you yet that you are an NBA champion, or is it still you still waiting on that? He's like, I'll tell you what hit me is these Modelo's. That's pretty good.
I love
And
that.
he kind of laughed and just walked away.
Oh, that's good.
But anyway, good for them. It's they're and I'll tell you what, everybody I think is gaining more and more respect for Nikola Jokic because he is such an unassuming, humble
Yeah.
superstar.
He didn't even want to be there. He was like, I don't really care about this. He went into his post-game interview after the finals are over, and one of the girls were asking questions, and she's like, this is the first time that I've been doing this, covering the NBA, and the MVP didn't bring their trophy in with them.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't even
Blake
know where
Andrews,
it's
yeah.
at. I don't even know where it's at, man. I don't know. I think I left it somewhere. He's whatever. Just get me back to Serbia, please.
Yep. That's what, yeah, I heard that too.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, I just want to go home with my family and my closest friends and just relax and,
Mhm.
just get me out of here. But yeah, it's, and when he does talk, any question directed at him for accomplishments or anything, he's like, I don't know, man. It
Mhm.
just, he says that a lot. He's like, I don't know.
Yep.
What do you think about this and that being tied in with Wilt Chamberlain
Yeah.
and Kareem, or with all these, stats and everything? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
fine, I guess. We won, so that's what I care,
I heard something the other day is pretty cool about Jokic. So they were talking about his passing and how great of a passer he is. And they were saying that a lot of it comes from the fact that he played water polo.
Oh.
So you ever seen those dudes in water polo, right? First off, they're strong as oxes because you can't touch the ground. You can't touch the bottom of the pool. You're wading water all the time.
Yeah.
But they
I can't
like
even
hold
do
that
without
they hold that
sport.
ball kind of up in the air, and you've got small angles that you're looking into with all the people around. And that's kind of how he holds the ball when he's got it in the post. It's just kind of sitting here and then zoop, zoop. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
that's right.
So that was kind of a cool thing that I learned the other day.
I didn't know he played water polo.
I didn't know he did either. And I could, and maybe somebody made that up. It was on the Dan Patrick show. Reggie Miller was talking about it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Reggie could have made it up.
Reggie could have made it up 100%. That's why I said it. Because when Reggie's on the Dan Patrick show, I don't know what's real and what's not, because those two mess with each other all the time. Yeah. But it made sense when he was talking about it.
Yeah. The best thing about that is when they start talking Larry Bird. They seem to talk about
Larry Bird every single time. They just did the other day. Reggie was on Tuesday, I want to say, and he said, so who's a better shooter, you or Ray Allen or something like that? And he was like, or he was like Ray Allen or Steph Curry, and he starts going, he goes, you're talking about my children. These are my children. I am God. I spawn. No, he said, I spawned them. And he goes, all right, well, what about Larry Bird? He goes, oh, no. I spawned from Larry. Larry is God. I am Jesus, and those are my kids.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
That was pretty cool. But yes, it always comes to some kind of Larry Bird something with those two.
I enjoy that a lot. Okay. So there's probably not a good transition here, but we're going to jump back into baseball because we have the Mount Rushmore, the MR of MRs.
MR of MRs.
Mount Rushmore of middle relievers.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this. Are you ready for this?
I'm close to being ready for it.
I can start it off.
Oh yeah, go. No, you go ahead and start it off. Yeah, we can go either way.
You want to? Okay. So a lot of good guys. I saw a couple lists here, and a lot of the names that were on that list were guys in the 90s and 2000s,
which is when, yes.
And yeah, I guess that transition where starters are going less distance in games.
You start hearing about the 100 pitch count, and you see more things like that.
Right. So middle reliever, so you got to cover more ground in games. Middle relievers start becoming more important. You got the hold stat, which
yep.
I can't imagine you're crazy about. I don't know that I am either. It's
I
just
don't mind the
strange.
hold stat. It doesn't bother me that much. I mean, it's another thing. It helps. You know what it does is it helps these guys get paid.
I guess, yeah.
It does, because
Yeah.
it's hard to say how important was Scott Sullivan to the Reds. We pitched more innings than anybody on the Reds team, for 3 straight years. And, so how important was he? Did he get wins? No. Did he get losses? No. What did he do? Well, he ate up a ton of innings
Mhm.
and held games close and did these things that needed to be done. So I think that hold stat really helped middle relievers to kind of get to a different pay area that they probably deserve, because that's a difficult thing to do.
So they came in and pitched and didn't give up a lead. Basically, that's
Yes.
what it is? Okay.
Yes.
So it's like a save for a middle reliever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going, I mean, I wrote down 15 names here or something like that. But I'm going to start with Jesse Orosco.
That's a beautiful one.
Jesse Orosco,
Beautiful one.
he pitched in 4 decades.
That's unbelievable.
79 was his first year, and he pitched until 03.
Unbelievable.
1,252 games.
Dude was 1,000 years old.
Almost 1,300 innings as a relief pitcher. And he had over all that time, 1,300 innings almost, a 3.16 ERA.
That's really impressive.
Struck out over 21% of the batters he faced, which as I was comparing, is really high. Jesse Orosco.
Like it.
Chris, this next guy did what this guy does.
I am him.
I'm going with Arthur Rhodes.
Arthur Rhodes.
Arthur Rhodes.
That's a good one, man. So Arthur Rhodes, man of many teams. I remember him most with Seattle. That's how I remember him. He was a reliever on that. Was that 90, 96 when Seattle made that run with Griffey?
95, maybe
95.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I just started watching the Ken Griffey Jr. documentary last night.
I still haven't even turned it on yet. Yeah. It looks like it's going to be really good, though.
Arthur Rhodes, I remember him most from being with the Reds.
Sure, yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
in the early 2000s,
he was on the 2010 and 12 teams that made the playoffs.
Oh wow, was that recent?
On
about
those
13 years ago.
Teams, yeah, and was a really valuable member of that.
Huge. He was the setup man.
That's right. To Aroldis Chapman.
Yep.
I guess. He pitched 20 innings. 20 years. How about that? How about 20 years? He pitched way more than 20 innings.
I mean, 20 years sounds better than 20 innings.
He was
like
almost 1,200 innings, matter of fact. And struck out 23% of the batters that he faced, which is a very, very high number.
Like it.
I'm gonna go. It was hard for me not to do this, but I'm going 2 more Reds besides Arthur Rhodes.
I mean, you're thinking middle relievers. It's not like you got a lot. Like you're gonna go with the ones that you know.
There were a ton of names that I loved, over the years. Third one, I'm going Norm Charlton. Norm Charlton pitched for a long time too, and he also pitched for Seattle and the Reds.
Yep.
And was really good for both. Had a career 3.71 ERA over about almost 900 innings. Struck out 21% of the guys. It seems like about that 20% mark is where the really elite strikeout guys were.
Yep.
And I didn't even remember Norm Charlton as a huge strikeout guy, but I guess he was, because he struck out a ton of guys that he faced. So
we're going to be pretty close to the same, because if you got Charlton on here, I've got Charleston, and I've got a feeling we're going to have the same guy for the last one too.
I bet we won't.
Oh no, you didn't go with another nasty boy?
No.
Okay. Okay. I went 2 nasty boys. I took 2 nasty boys.
So, because
no, I went Dibble because Myers was the closer. Myers was the closer. I went Dibble.
Some saves.
He did, and he got a lot more saves as he got older. But for that 1 year, Myers was the main man. It was Charlton, Dibble, Myers. That was the rank and file.
This one might surprise you for my 4th one.
Okay.
Clay Carroll.
Wow, there you go. Yeah. I love
Clay,
it. I love that. My dad would love that.
Clay Carroll, he pitched, let's see, uh 1,353 innings. He pitched for a long time. Well, 64 to 78. And he was on the Big Red Machine, right?
Was.
And his career ended shortly after that, like
Yeah.
right after the Big Red Machine stopped going to the World Series every year. But he had a sub 300, I can't talk,
Sub
sub
3.
3 ERA
Yeah, that's insane.
in over 1,300 innings career. Jesse Roscoe, Clay Carroll, Arthur Rhodes, Norm Charlton.
Love it. All right. So I took two nasty. I'm going two nasty boys. I'm taking
I
Dibble and
should have just
Charleston.
taken all three
I
and just said
Dibble and Charleston or Charlton. 100% right off the bat. And I like the Jesse Orosco. I mean, you can't not put him on the best middle reliever of all time because that's all he did for 30, 40 years or however long you said it was. Whatever you said it was. My last one, I've said it a million times. The greatest middle reliever in Reds history is Scott Sullivan. There's no better. The sidearm, masterful man. That dude pitched for maybe 5 years. I don't know how long. It might have been 5 years. Maybe it was 15 years. I don't know. But he pitched, I feel like, 162 games a year.
yeah.
I feel like he threw in 162 games a year. I feel like he was a rubber arm. I always saw him out there. Sullivan was always, and he always pitched well. He was never in trouble. I don't have all your stats. Scott Sullivan is 1,000% on my Mount Rushmore.
I think he led the league for like 3 straight years.
Innings pitched.
Innings pitched.
He did. Yeah. With the Reds.
Yeah. Scott Sullivan's.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but
well,
when you're not a
yeah, I
starter,
mean, yeah, right. Yeah.
if you're not a starter and
means-
you're leading the league in innings pitched, that's probably not good.
Major starters weren't great.
Yeah.
But yes, Scott Sullivan was one of the bright spots in some Reds teams that weren't very good for a while there.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
I like it.
Nice.
Means we got one thing left,
That's right.
and that is Miss Wanda Sykes. Adam, she's an entertainer. I like the way that the I'm an entertainer came into effect. That was pretty funny. She is a lesbian and talks a lot about her French wife. Very funny. Smokes everywhere, I guess. Doesn't care if she's in someone else's house or her own. Or school or preschool or kindergarten or whatever it is. This was 99.99% about what she did during the pandemic. I mean, that's basically what this whole thing was about and what happened and things that happened during the pandemic, obviously. So, there's a lot of politics stuff in here, and I kind of knew it was going to be that way with Wanda Sykes. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. She does a great job of still making all that stuff funny. I really, really enjoyed it. I like Wanda Sykes. I've always liked Wanda Sykes. And I'm not going to say this was like a 4.2 or something phenomenal, but I would suggest people to watch this. I give it a 3.7, and I think it was pretty good. She had me laughing quite a bit. She talks about her kids. Oh my God, there's some really funny jokes with her kids.
Her kids, Rashad and LaQuisha.
Yeah. Yes, that's what they're going to be called. That's what they're going to be called if they want to get their inheritance from her.
That's right.
Yep. I love that. 2 little white kids. You hated it. Hated it. I knew you were going to hate it. Hated it.
On film, very good.
Hated it.
Wanda Sykes is, you mentioned it, she is Black, gay, and a woman.
And that is what this is about.
That is what her comedy is pretty much always about.
100%.
And so I was, to be honest, a little turned off because I didn't think she did a good job of. It felt like so many of her jokes, and they're all about all that stuff.
100%.
And you know what? Those are all minorities, and they're all groups that have been oppressed for a very, very long time. And I know that there's tons of truth to that. I'm totally on board with that. And I'm totally on board with making that mostly about what you want to talk about. If that's what you want to talk about in your comedy, to me, you have, because you're not the only one doing that. everybody else is talking about that stuff too.
Yeah.
And I think you have to find ways to do different jokes. You have
Yeah.
to make it funny in different ways.
I
And
can.
I felt like they were too, it was too predictable. I felt like it was too much low hanging fruit stuff.
I'll
Like,
give you that for sure. There was a lot. I mean, I still laughed at a lot of it, but I was there. What most of it was predictable as it was coming out.
I was just like, at this point, she's been in comedy 40 years or whatever. I'm like, you're still doing the same jokes
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
and about
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
things. And it's just not, it didn't, I was a little disappointed. I'll be honest with you. I like Wanda Sykes, but I was kind of disappointed in this one. And I gave it a 2.3.
Wow, we're way off on that one.
We're a
That
little
might be the biggest offsetting that we've had in a long time.
in a while. Yep.
For sure.
Sorry.
It is what it is. Well, let's figure out what we're gonna do. Am I in charge of Mount Rushmore and you're in charge? Yeah, I got Mount
Yes.
Rushmore and you got that. While I think
Oh,
of
wait.
them, yeah, I got Mount Rushmore. No, I did middle relievers.
I got Mount Rushmore.
No,
so
we're,
it's
we're
kinda-
to
it's
a
kinda
point
back
where
to
it's. I'll take the Mount Rushmore. You take the
Okay.
the easy low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
So while I think about this, I want to tell you. So I'm going to Gatlinburg, leaving tomorrow. Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Adam, you were
there a
just
couple
there.
months
Do you got any suggestions for me?
ago.
I'm not going to try to go anywhere where I can get stung by 1,000 wasps.
Yeah. Be careful about if you have a deck on your place where you're staying,
Yep.
there's going to be wasps in there making nests. Other than that, a lot of the stuff to do is in Pigeon Forge and Sevierville. You don't have to go all the way into Gatlinburg. Now there's tons of stuff there, but I feel like there's way more people there.
Oh yeah.
I
I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to chill.
You only there for about a day or two?
It's like
or
a
something?
day and
Yeah,
a half.
Day and a half.
Like I just want to stay in a cabin and hang out and relax.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I have no drive, no want or desire to go into Gatlinburg. I have no desire to or want to go into Pigeon Forge. I have no desire to go on a hike.
At the same time, are you going to, I mean, you're going to go all the way there to sit in a cabin?
100%. If the view is beautiful and I can
Okay.
look out over top of the mountains,
Okay. Yeah. If you have,
1,000%. There's a pool table. I'm in.
oh, there you go. There's a pool table. I don't know. All right. Can I go?
No,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a pool table or not, to be honest with you. I feel like all those places have a pool table and a hot tub. Like you got to have a pool table and a hot tub to have a cabin in Gatlinburg. But no, I just want to relax, man. I just want to relax. We're going to go into town for dinner on Saturday night.
There you go.
And that's all I need. I don't need anything else.
There are a couple places that seemed pretty good. A place that we went, and I'll have to, because off the top of my mind, I can't remember, but I'll have to get the name of it. But there's it's like a brewery, but it's a big place and it's a restaurant. And then you can, if you eat there, you can go.
I think that's
right to the other side, and they'll do like a tasting, bourbon tasting or something like that for
okay.
you.
I think that might be where we're going, is some kind of place like that.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not 1,000% sure. That's not the right.
The Islands it's right by the Islands, and the Islands is a real cool place too. That's just like you get a whole bunch of shops.
Right.
And so I like that.
So I'm going to tell you where we're going here, because I really want to tell you if this is it. I feel like it is some kind of brewery. Here it is. Where's it at? Okay. Yes, it's called Friday Night and Eat at. Oh, it just says eat at the brewery. Yeah, so it's got to be it, right? How many breweries can there possibly be? Smoky Mountain Brewery. Does that sound right? No, that's not it.
No.
Man, how many breweries can there be in a dry county?
I think there's a
Is
bunch.
it still a dry county?
I don't think so, no.
Remember when Gatlinburg was a dry county when we were little? It was always
it?
it was a dry county when we
I
were.
remember that.
Yep.
No, I think that, I mean, Tennessee, well, I guess whiskey's real big there, I guess, right? But
Oh yeah, you got to have that.
Whiskey
Well,
is everywhere now.
I mean that they're all about the moonshine, right? So
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that too.
which is whiskey. That's whiskey. Moonshine is whiskey.
Okay.
So they're down there, you got to have all the 5,000 different moonshines that everybody makes down there. That's I'm sure we'll do moonshine tastings.
Gotcha.
Can you get an Uber in Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
We're in Sevierville. I mean, that's right there, right?
Yeah. You're close enough to everything. Yeah.
Might take a
Now,
bike. I wonder if I can get a bike.
the only thing was there's like basically one lane to go from
Ugh.
Pigeon Forge
Yeah.
to Gatlinburg and back.
Yeah.
And there was some construction and stuff too. So it took a long time. Like, you sat in traffic for a while.
Well, here's the
going
deal,
and
bro.
to
Like
and
we've
back.
got pool play on Saturday. I'm gonna miss that. It's very difficult for me to give up responsibilities as a coach.
Sure.
I'm not good at that. Not good at all. I don't like giving up my main duties, right? Like I ask my coaches for advice all the time. Always asking coaches for advice. I want to know what they think. I want to know, I want to make the best decision. However, I get to make the final decision. You can
Sure.
give me all the advice you want to give me. I'm going to take it into consideration, and I'll 90% of the time go with it. But I also am going to so this is going to be tough. Like I will look around at the guy who does a lot of our pitching coach stuff, and I'll be like, all right, what do you think? One more batter? Like I'm only giving him one more. Should I give him one more? And he'll say two, or he'll say, I wouldn't even give him another one. Get him now. Something like that. Or who we going if he's struggling, or we'll have conversations like that. Now it's just on that dude. Now it's nothing, like it's not me. Sometimes he'll tell me something and then I end up letting him go an extra batter or something like that happens. And, I still make the, final decision on it. It's going to be tough. I'm going to be watching a video of the game. I'm going to have to be calling. I'm going to be calling throughout the entire game.
Is your dad not the interim manager?
He's going to coach first.
Okay.
But I'm going to have another dad coach third because my dad already coaches first. Another guy will coach third. And he also is the guy who does most of the pitching work that I talk to about pitching. So he'll do the pitching stuff, which kind of puts him into basically with those two aspects, basically puts him into that role, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's also hard for me. It's hard for me to think like we've got like, including me, I've got 6 coaches, right? It's too many coaches, way too many coaches. A couple of them though are, coaches in name, right? Like one guy calls himself the head coach. He's not the biggest baseball guy. I'll be the first one to tell you, but he calls himself the head coach because he's there to help the kids out with their head, right? Like he's there when they're struggling, come on, baby, let's go, or pump them up, or bring them down if they're getting a little too cocky, whatever he's got to do. He's the head coach.
Okay.
So we kind of get a kick out of that, right?
Yeah.
We got a guy who does just hitting, but he's got a son that's 13. So, and he coaches first for that team. So he's not at all the games. So that's one guy that's in and out. Then you got me, my dad, the pitching guy, and another guy, my brother-in-law, who helps out, who does a lot of the warming up. So like it's like, hey, need to warm a guy up. Boom, he's out there warming the guy up. He warms the catcher up in between the pitcher up in between innings while the catcher's getting gear on. Like everybody's got a role. We've got way too many coaches, but they all have roles.
Sure.
Got to figure out how to keep all their roles in check and not let anybody get too high or get too low. You know what I mean?
It sounds like you got a plan though.
I've got a plan. We've got a plan.
You're being
It's a
good
plan.
faith.
Yeah. I'm going to have to write it all out and make sure everybody understands it tomorrow, but it'll be all right. I got to make a couple lineups up.
Yeah.
And then I'm over here scritching and scrabbling. I keep pencil on me all the time.
Mhm.
And I keep a blueprint of what I want to do for every inning, right? I've got 6 innings written out, all the kids, where they'll be playing, but that's a blueprint, because if pitching doesn't work out and doesn't go the however long I have it planned on my blueprint, I got to move people around.
Sure.
Now I got to count on somebody else to do that. I don't know how that's going to maneuver right. I always try to still make it to where kids are, every kid sits out at least 1 inning. Couple kids will have to sit out 2 innings. Just is what it is. I don't want anybody I don't want that to get out of hand. It's yeah. It's going to be tough.
You'll be all right.
I'm very nervous.
You'll get through it, and then
So-
you guys will play at 4:00.
Bracket play is at so if you're, like you said, if you're the number 1 seed, and I told the boys we need the number 1 seed, we play at 4:00 on Sunday. Boom. 4:00. Then if you win that, you play in a championship at 6. That's what we want, right? We want that. However, if you are in Oh, jeez, Pete, I hate when I hate ads. There should be no ads on any apps
Yeah.
ever. However, if we come in second place, we play at noon. Second and seventh play at noon. I'm okay with either of those. I can do noon. I can make it there at noon. Fourth and fifth play at noon. I can't do third and sixth. That's 10 a.m. I ain't getting back from Gatlinburg at 10 a.m. after partying on Saturday night. It's not happening. And then if we're in the lower bracket, I don't even want to talk about that. There's zero reason we should be in the lower bracket. But if it happens, at least that doesn't start till 2.
Gotcha.
But we can't be third or sixth. We can't do third or sixth. We got to stay away from third or sixth. That's the biggest one. I'll make noon. If there's traffic, I'll make sure I get out of there at 6 a.m. if I have to and make it a 6-hour drive. I don't care. God, that sounds terrible, but I'll do it.
Sure.
I got to be there for them boys. I'm not letting anybody coach bracket play. That's my goal is for me to coach bracket play. Okay.
All gonna be good.
I'm still not good. I'm still not okay.
You'll be all right because you guys are gonna finish in the top 2, so it won't be third or sixth.
2's not. Oh, third. Yeah, 2 is was that a 2:00 game or a noon game? That was a noon game. Two.
So you guys will
seeds,
finish
noon game.
first.
Let's just finish first. Let's just finish first and get the 4. Let's just get the 4:00 game and just not worry about it.
I gotcha. Okay. I have a question for you. As you're working on your breathing, which is a good thing, it's a great thing. Get a little meditation going. Have you heard of this young kid who's like the hottest comedian right now, Matt Rife?
No, I haven't, but I'm super stoked about it. I think, did you talk to me about this guy already?
I don't know.
No,
I don't
maybe
feel like
not.
I have.
Okay, Matt Rife,
R-I-F-E. He had a special put out maybe 2 months ago, maybe a little less, on YouTube.
Okay,
Called Matthew Stephen Rife.
love it.
And this kid is young. I think he's in his early to mid 20s, and he is a super good looking dude, big muscles. And so a lot of his comedy is like sexualized comedy.
Yeah.
And there are women of all ages coming to his shows and throwing themselves at him in the middle of the shows.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, there are clips
Wow,
online.
it's one sexy dude, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm pretty stoked about this.
He gets a lot of attention from ladies.
I feel like if you're comfortable with yourself as a man, you should be able to look at a man and say, that is one good looking guy.
He's a very good looking guy. And if you get into a rabbit hole on TikTok and I think that's where he actually started getting famous.
Okay. On
TikTok, and then he started doing shows and bigger shows, and people started knowing about him, and people started really going to see him specifically.
Okay.
And I've seen a couple clips of some women that have gone to these shows and are going crazy, giving him gifts in the middle of the thing, and he's a big crowd work guy.
Okay.
All right. To begin with. So
he's picking women out constantly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there's, women at shows all the time, and then they're going to shows to see him, and they're, well, hey, what's up? What's going on with you? And they're, flirting back and forth and stuff. And I hope he's funny, because if that's all it is, I don't care about that.
Well, you know what though? If you can do crowd work in a flirty way and be funny with that, I feel like you could pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you could get, without just being like, oh, this guy's just trying to hook up with this chick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like as a comedian, you could work it in. I feel like it could be done.
It seems like he's really putting some miles on the old car.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got it, you got it,
on
bro.
the road,
you got it.
Absolutely. So anyway, that's Matthew Stephen Rife is the name of his special, and that's on YouTube.
Okay.
And I think we should check this out, because this kid is all the rage right now.
What's the name of it again? Or is it just Matthew?
Matthew Stephen Rife is the name of the special.
Oh, that's the name of it.
Rife,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Matthew Stephen Rife. All right. I am gonna go with a Mount Rushmore. Correct me if we've done this already. First baseman.
Okay.
I don't think we've done first baseman, have we?
I'm not sure.
I feel like we've done catchers, we've done shortstops, We may have even done outfielders, but I don't feel like we've done first baseman.
I love it.
Let's do it.
Matt Rife, first baseman. We'll probably start talking a little bit more baseball. Maybe I know it's not really. I mean, that you can vote for the All-Star game. By the way, did you cast your WNBA All-Star ballot yet?
Twice.
Okay, good. I have as well.
I got Lisa Leslie.
Mhm.
I got Cheryl Swoops.
Yep.
Cheryl Swoop, is that right?
Yep.
And then I've got Cheryl Miller as well.
Mhm.
I can't remember who
You
the other
vote
one
Don
was.
Staley,
I did not vote Don Staley.
Rebecca Lobo.
Lobo, I did get. Yeah.
Good.
I
Good.
did
Yeah,
not
she
vote for
should be
Don
in.
Staley. I feel like Don Staley probably will make it. Yeah, I don't need to vote for her. I really wanted to try to push the. I wanted to try to push the Miller, the Cheryl Miller, Reggie's sister. I really wanted her to get in. So
Yeah.
just hoping Don Staley probably get in over her though.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess they're both guards.
Yeah.
Are
Are they?
good?
I don't know.
I
Is
can't
Miller?
remember
I
Cheryl
feel like
Miller's
Cheryl
guard.
Miller is
I
probably
think
more
she
of
was a
a
shooter.
small forward shooting guard.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Three, maybe a three. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the Legends All-Star game, I guess, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. No, who would be? Sue Bird, right? Sue Bird's got to be
She
in it.
retired.
Damn, I'm just
She
getting right
retired
into
last
it.
year.
All right, Sue Bird's out.
I'll tell you what, I actually did a ballot yesterday or the day before, and I had to look at stats and everything.
Yeah.
And there were maybe 3 names that I knew that I voted for.
Oh,
Maybe.
the rest of them you were
I just went
people
by
that were
stats.
really good.
Just went by
and,
stats, yeah.
I mean,
There's a few.
obviously, what's the she's been the MVP like 3 out of the last 5 years or something like that.
It was Elena Deladon, Diana
Deladon.
Taurasi.
Yeah, Tarasi's been around forever. Is she gonna make it still?
I think so. She's having a pretty good year. Yeah.
Forgot about Deladon.
Candace
I
Parker's
like that
there.
Deladon. Candace Parker, love Candace Parker. She's good. She's not the one that I was thinking of though.
Chene that did the show for a long time.
Yeah, with Mike
Chene
Golick.
Ogwumike
Yeah,
or-
Mbumukwe.
yeah.
She got in a big old fight not that long ago.
Did she? I
Yeah.
don't even know if I.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, man. She was ready to knock a sister out on the court.
Wow.
She had long arms.
So anyway, actually watched a quarter of
boy.
Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky before I came over here. Kelsey Mitchell from Cincinnati is on Fever, and
Where'd she go to school?
Princeton.
Princeton.
Mhm.
So the Indiana Fever,
Yeah,
and the Las Vegas Sky,
Chicago
Sky,
Mhm.
man.
Indiana's not been very good. They were
LA
they were
is
like
the
worst team.
Sparks, right? Isn't the LA Sparks?
LA Sparks.
Okay, I can get one. That's probably the only one.
Las Vegas Aces.
Isn't that the hockey team?
No, Las Vegas Golden Knights is the hockey team. Las
Oh.
Vegas Aces is the team. They won the championship last year, I'm pretty sure.
Who's that? The Aces?
The Las Vegas Aces.
And then the Knights
by
won
Becky
the
Hammon.
the Knights won the cup this year?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
They're about to get in the A's are they just
Oakland A's.
approved the stadium deal in Vegas for the Oakland A's.
And the A's are on like a 7 or 8 game winning
I
streak
know.
right now.
Did you see what the Oakland A's fans were trying to do?
Reverse
A
what
reverse
do you call it?
protest.
Yeah.
They wanted to get as many people in the stands as they possibly could.
And they're still only getting like 20,000.
I was going to say it wasn't even 20, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 20.
That stinks because I love the A's, going back to the early 2000s when those teams were awesome.
Do the A's change their logo? Do they change the name, or are they going to be the Vegas A's? I mean, you've had because
The Athletics,
Oakland
regional. so-
Oakland Athletics. You had but before Oakland they were somewhere else. They've been in a couple different places.
They were
The
the
A's-
Philadelphia. A's,
Philadelphia
weren't
Athletics, probably. There you go. So you think they keep athletics?
they? Yeah, but you never know. I mean, sometimes they change, and
Sometimes the Houston Oilers are just gone forever.
sometimes they're just gone forever. You know what I mean?
So the kids say this a lot. Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez. You ever heard that? It's kind of messed up. I've heard multiple people, little kids. It must be something that was on YouTube or something, but like they'll hit a bomb or something like that and be like, gone forever, Aaron Hernandez, and then start running the bases. And I'm like, that's kind of messed up, man. But
They know who Aaron Hernandez?
I don't think they do. They just heard somebody say it
Someone said
once.
it,
You know what I mean? You hear somebody say something and you don't really know what you're saying. It's like, I don't know that that eh, maybe not.
Interesting. I've not heard that yet. I didn't hear. Gotta close this thing out. Sorry, I can go on forever about just anything.
Yeah.
The first time I really
I've been
heard,
told I could talk too.
first time I heard Kobe when somebody shoots like a piece of garbage or something.
Yeah.
I mean, was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When I first started working for the Reds the first year,
Yeah.
it's like 2013. Apparently, people were saying it all the time before that.
I didn't know
And
that.
neither did I.
I mean, the
I'd
kids still
never
say
heard
it to this day. After he died, it got even bigger. Like it had a big comeback.
Yeah. But apparently that's what everybody was saying. I was like, people say that? Like I had no idea that
Like
was a thing.
Kobe was some unbelievable shooter. That's what I don't understand. They should be saying Steph.
Yeah.
That's what they should be doing.
Yeah. I was like, Kobe, why wouldn't you just say Jordan or something?
Yeah. Well, it's the time, the
But
era.
I was in my 30s and everybody else was like 19 that I worked with down at
Yep.
the stadium. So
Yeah.
anyway,
What a fun time.
yeah.
All right. Well, Schmidt, it's Schmidt's last name, right?
Schmidt.
Let's go ahead and close this thing out. We got Mount Rushmore first baseman next week. We've got Matthew Stephen Reif on YouTube. Did I get his name right on the first try?
Yeah.
Super stoked about that.
It's great. Good job.
Yeah, I guess that's it. And I can't wait to come back with some kind of story from Gatlinburg. There's some couples on this that I don't know.
It's gonna be good.
And we all know, like, I can be a little much for some people. Like there's a lot.
Sure.
There are people that don't like me because I'm a little too much for their personality, right? Like they just can't handle it, or they think, I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm a pretty friendly guy, but there are a lot of people that I'm too much for and they just don't like me.
You're a high energy guy.
A very high energy guy. And if I get into a situation, I ain't been like a little couples retreat kind of thing. You know what I mean? I've no kids. I got two nights. I got Friday night and Saturday night. Now, hopefully Saturday night, I can have a full Saturday night and I don't have to get up at 6 a.m. Come on, boys, do it for me. Or either way, no, I haven't had a night like that in a long time. It could get rowdy, bub. Could get rowdy.
Cannot wait.
I've got a playlist that's 16 hours and 49 minutes long. I'm ready to party,
some
bro.
of those to me. Yeah.
There's not a bad song in the mix. Not a bad song in the mix.
Okay.
I didn't even get to the Boys the Men that was on it. There's at least 8 Boys the Men songs in there.
Automatic.
Yeah.
Automatic good
It's
then.
up and down there. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like with that playlist, even no matter who's there, somebody at one point is going to be like, oh my God, I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to do that, right?
That's true. It's a very eclectic. It's a very wide ranging playlist.
Got a lot of it on there, right? So that's all I'm hoping, because I'm not sure. Like, I don't know these people. You know, what if I roll up into some uptight preppy kind of people that, I don't know why I say preppy. I feel like preppy gets a bad name.
Yeah. But I mean, Zach Morris, AC Slater called him preppy, and
Zach Morris was cool as all getting. Yeah, he was cool, right? I don't mind it. So maybe uptight. Maybe I don't want some uptight people, right? Like, I want to be able to party, dude. I'm here to party, right? I'm ready to go. There's a 98% chance I'll be in a Speedo at some point in time.
With no pool in sight.
That's exactly right. I'll just be sitting there doing karaoke in my Speedo.
You're going to the brewery in a Speedo.
I wouldn't do that. There's too many kids.
Well, I actually did end up at a bar that had karaoke going on while I was there.
Did you? Oh my God, I love karaoke. Yeah. I always say, no, I don't want to do any karaoke. I always sit back in the back and everybody's like, oh, it's karaoke. Come on, let's go. By the time it's all said and done, I'm 4 songs deep. Like, once you get the first one under your belt, it's like, let's sign up for this. Regulators, let's go. What's next? All right, come on. Baby got back. I'm in. Let's go. What do you got? You always got to close it out with a little Sweet Caroline, right?
Oh,
you get the whole place going with Sweet Caroline. That's a guaranteed. That's a guaranteed crowd pleaser. Sweet Caroline. Mm-hmm. Sweet, definitely. I had on a cruise one time. I walked up and did Vanilla Ice Baby.
You know that song? You know that whole song?
I need the words on the TV. As long as the words are up there, I'm all right. But then afterwards, I did regulators right afterwards, and I got all of a sudden I had a little little cougar crowd forming over here. Yep, all my sisters were over there, and I was like, I said, what do you think? What do you think, girls? What you think? You think I should do some Baby Got Back? Oh, they were on the dance floor for Baby Got Back, and there was a whole lot of back.
Yeah,
whole lot of back out there on that dance floor. Whole lot of back.
For the people who were of age when that song came out, I imagine a lot of backs nowadays.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because that's like 10 years older than my prime.
Yeah.
So yeah, without a doubt. It was yeah, anyway, yeah, but I'm with you. Like, I don't know. I could see you getting up there. I mean, we've heard you sing a cappella here.
That's the only time you'll hear me sing.
So
in front of people.
What about a little thong song? Right? There's a little bit of singing, but it's mostly just rapping. It's literally the same thing. He says the exact same thing.
I would never
17 times.
Yeah, I would never do that.
No.
I mean, you know the stuff that I like. I'm doing a ballad. I'm doing a.
I love the way the beat goes. Baby, make a booty go.
That's terrible.
Girl, you know you want to show that dong, the dong, dong, dong.
Yeah.
What a goober.
I'm going with some, Jodeci or something like that.
I was just listening to Jodeci and Wu-Tang song on
they collab
and on XM Fly. It's all 90s and 2000s. It's my favorite radio station. It was Raekwon. I think it was just Raekwon and Jodeci is all it was, but it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Jodeci was way better than Raekwon. I like Raekwon, but Jodeci is way better.
Yeah, I like Jodeci.
Oh man, there's 9 guys in Wu-Tang. Someday we got to do a Mount Rushmore of Wu-Tang.
You know what? I never really got into Wu-Tang that much.
I never got into Wu-Tang at all until Wu-Tang and American Saga came out on Hulu a couple years ago. Really? And it's like from start to finish. And I just finished it the other day. It's 3 or 4 seasons locked in, dude. Locked in. I love it. Old Dirty Bastard was a crazy dude. The dude was legit just a nut man. He was nutty. And Method Man was cool as hell. Method Man is just as cool as you think Method Man is. He wasn't even a gangster or nothing, dude. Method Man just lived in the hood. We talked about this. Like he used to live with his grandma or aunt or something playing lacrosse at some prep school or something like that. And he got kicked out because he got in a fight during a lacrosse game.
That's right.
And then went back to his hood.
Yeah.
Got shot in the foot.
Oh.
Yeah. It was drug deal gone bad down the road. He wasn't involved in it. He was just shooting dice.
Boy, I mean, are you just trying to sing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song? Shooting some dice outside of the school, got in one little fight.
His grandma got scared. So you're moving back to Staten Island. That's where they all was from. Yeah, Staten Island.
Sal Volcano is a huge fan of theirs because of that.
Yeah, I believe it. They're the kings of Staten Island, baby.
Right.
They brought the 2 hoods together in Staten Island. 2 Raekwon and Ghostface Killer. Shoot, they were in opposite crews. They tried to kill each other. They tried to kill Raekwon shot up his crib one time back in the day before they got together. That's not very It took RZA to get them together and let them know, man, y'all got fly rhymes. Now I'm starting to talk goofy. I'm getting into yeah. He's like, come on, man, we can make some money. We can be good. The guy that plays RZA is hilarious.
They did make some money.
They made a lot of money. They changed the game. Every one of them, all their record deals were all signed where they had 100% control of their music.
It's the way to do it.
Change the game. It had never been done before.
Good call. Good business sense.
Yeah. Oh, RZA knew what he was doing, man.
Good job.
Knew what he was doing. Yep. All right, that's enough. Watch Hulu. Go to Hulu. Watch Wu-Tang and American Saga. I'm telling you, it's great. I love it. It's awesome.
Sign up for Spectrum.
Yeah.
Go to Hulu.
All right, let's do this. All right, until next week. Don't forget to turn your headlights on. I just moved this all around.